Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Elisa Marie Designs. I am Elisa Maria. Welcome back if you're back. Welcome if you're new, especially if you are new. I have a lot of new members and subscribers, so welcome. It's great to connect with all of you. Today is Self-Care Sunday, and on Self-Care Sunday, we bring it down a little bit. I need to bring it down a little bit. I'm usually very hyper. No, not really. I'm usually talking a lot. Anyway, we read from the Book of Awakening, and we just have some quiet meditative time to diamond paint and to catch up. Really, I would say I wanted to light my candle. Do I have a match in here? I'm getting into lighting my candle when I sit down to diamond paint. It's just part of the experience, so let me get a lighter. So hard to find a lighter when you don't smoke anymore. I used to have these things all over the house. It's just part of the experience. I like the candlelight even though it's daytime, and I like the scent. And then there's a gem in here that I guess you gotta melt it all the way down to the bottom before you find that gem. I guess they put it like right on the candle stem, I would imagine, because I don't see it at all. But I will say that this did burn very evenly. You can see how evenly it burned. The wick never got lost or flooded. I like that. Anyway, so let me just talk to you for a couple of minutes, tell you what's going on, what's coming up. I had this idea this morning. I'm going to be diamond painting my angel that was gifted to me by one of my members, Yvonne. And I thought what I would do is work quietly on this and then do a voiceover, because then I could use this again, same video, and I can read the bad seed, because not everybody gets into Self-Care Sunday. So I read chapter 5 yesterday. Let me know how you like it. And chapter 6 is about 15 pages. So I was like, oh, why don't I just use the same diamond painting recording that I'm doing this way? You know, I don't have to, diamond paint a whole other session now and then do the voiceover. So, good for me. What else is going on? Oh, what else is going on? We have the Raven event starting on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. This is more of, if you like Self-Care Sunday, you're going to like the Raven event. It's happening on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's for members only, and you can still be a member. You can be a member for a month. It's going to be 5 Wednesdays. There's 5 Wednesdays in October. So like this just all aligned perfectly. I didn't do any planning. It just happened. It just unfolded in front of me. Like most of my diamond painting sessions, they just unfold in front of me. And we're using the raven as a symbol to... The class is called Meeting Your Edge. The theme of the event is called Meeting Your Edge. And so we're going to talk about meeting your edge on Wednesday in all different areas of your life. Your creative life, your work life, your relationship life, your physical life, meaning your body, your mental life. And how I'm going to take that example of things that happen in our life and how they happen on the canvas. Yeah, they do. And how we can use the raven as a symbol. So that's just one class. And it's just going to be, if you like Self-Care Sunday, well, I had stopped doing Self-Care Sunday for a while, and then I brought it back because it was like, I really miss Self-Care Sunday. And I was like, I got to do this. I had stopped it because, YouTube is like, are you a diamond painting channel or are you a self-care channel? And, the algorithm got kooky. It's still kooky. It really is. And I just want to do what I enjoy doing and not worry about algorithms and, oh, how many members do I have? How many subscribers do I have? It's not what it's about. It's about building a community. And you all have found each other too. So many of you, and I've introduced other diamond painting channels that I watch, and I see you guys over there, and it just makes my heart happy that you guys are, we're kind of like in this same centrifugal motion of energy all together, because we have similar tastes and likes. And so it's really nice to see. It's really nice to see people come together, finding each other, similar stories, similar experiences. Discord now has a channel called The Quiet Nook. And The Quiet Nook is a place where you can go to meet up with other people. You don't have to comment if you don't want to. Where you can meet up with other people that may be struggling through life's experiences for a multitude of reasons. But it is a safe space. It is a quiet place. You can go there just to read some stories. You can go there to connect with other people. I think a lot of times we think we're so alone with the way that we feel about things. Then we find that, no, we're not so alone. So that's going on. I'm not sure yet where I want to meet everyone for the event. So there's a Facebook page called the Raven event, the Raven DP event, diamond painting event. And everyone was so inspired by something that I showed them with a composition book. You'll need a composition book. You'll need a journal. You'll need a piece of paper, loose leaf paper, a napkin, something to write on during these 5 Wednesdays. And so a few of my members went out and got their composition book, and they got to work on it, and they actually posted it in the Raven Diamond Painting event page on Facebook. So what I am trying to think of doing, like, where do I want to meet everyone at? Where will we all be comfortable chatting? Do I do a video and then we meet up after the video? But that's not going to work, because then everybody just kind of gets, well, they don't have to be there at 7 p.m. I could do a live on YouTube, and I could do it just for members. But I think the one that's making the most sense to me is Discord, because on Discord you don't have to be seen, you don't have to be heard, but you can be. And I believe I can have, I think, up to 99 people on the channel. So, we can all get together. You can show things, you can talk. I'm going to be asking questions. You may have questions, so you can talk. So it would be more like a forum, more like you went to a class, more like that. Or there could even be Zoom. So, like, it's only Sunday, it's starting on Wednesday, so I'm still trying to figure it out, but we'll get it together. That's what's going on. And I think what I should do, and usually what I do, is, like, I talk a little, I diamond paint a little, and then I get into, like, what's been going on and stories and stuff like that. And then it just seems that after, like, maybe about a half an hour of chit-chatting with you guys while I'm diamond painting, and I'll tell you why I'm not diamond painting. Okay, let me show you why I'm not diamond painting right now while I'm talking to you. Let's move this here. Can you move back a little bit? Yeah. Okay. Is because I'm working in this section. Here's my angel. I believe this is Angel 01 from Diamond Art Emporium. And this is on Ren's Etsy shop. Ren is moving stuff off of Etsy and bringing it to his .com, but some things are still on the Etsy shop. I don't know how many of these are left. So if you want to work on this one, you're more than welcome to work along with me on this one. There's a lot of confetti in this section. You can tell when I broke this open, I did like a lot. Like, I could just do this and talk to you guys, but then there's so much open space, my hand gets on there, and I just don't like that. I could continue to work down the bottom, but I'm like, there's so much confetti that to talk and diamond paint is so distracting. But I guess I could maybe just work the bottom here right now. Maybe do that. I do have a color here that is a little bit more prevalent than this section here. It's just like, oh, that's a lot of confetti. I think I might want to use this for the Raven. And the other thing about the Raven event is we'll use one of these canvases. The other thing about the Raven event is you don't need a Raven canvas. Some of you went out and bought one. You can use any canvas that you want, and I think as we learn and grow through the Raven event, that you will be like, you know what, I think it makes more sense for me to maybe take this painting out and work on this with this particular subject. So I think you're going to find that that's going to happen. I have gone back and tweaked the first class so many times because so much is happening so fast in our world that really, honestly, I have been taking like little diet breaks in my life when it comes to social media and when it comes to the phone. I just am like, I can't handle all this. There's just so much going on, and you get overwhelmed and overloaded, and I'm just like, this is not good. It's not good. I got to take a break from my mental health from all this. So, I have gone back and tweaked some things to try and keep it current to what some of us are experiencing. Not everyone, which is why I opened up the Quiet Nook. And again, that is a safe space. It's a non-judgmental space. So if you feel as though you might be not able to handle some things that people are talking about, whatever it is, you know, I don't tell people how to live their life. You know what I mean? I just don't. I think there's too many people running around telling other people what to do. And I've never understood that at all. Even as far as I did a diamond painting review this week, and the company felt compelled to tell me that they were having some kind of argument with another company, and I was like, thanks for letting me know. However, you know, they didn't want it to influence my opinion. I have something up here, it's called a brain, and I make up my own decisions. I'm not influenced by anyone, anywhere. You know, I'm just not. You know, I might take bits of information from all over the place, but in the end, I make up my own mind. So that is something else that happened this week. I did do another review of 2 canvases that I really liked from a new company. And I was so in love with the first canvas because she reminded me of my grandmother. Not only did she remind me of my grandmother was a seamstress. And she's sitting at the exact, I wish I had a picture of my grandmother's sewing machine. We'd have to go through like family photos to find them because she was always at that place. You know, she had her own dry cleaning business, but she would bring work home, and she would, she made so many of my dresses on that sewing machine. And looking at the picture of the young woman, it looks like it was like somewhere in the 30s or 40s. She looked like my grandmother. My grandmother was always dressed. She always had her hair done, her nails done, her makeup on. She always had her jewelry on. It didn't matter. My grandmother, up until her dying day, was lipstick and, you know, a brooch or something. I remember our last Christmas, and I remember her having her little pins on that she had for Christmas, for her trees, her earrings, and everything else. She didn't feel well, but you wouldn't know it. You know, I mean, we knew it, but it was so important to her to have that presentation and to celebrate the holiday. So those paintings are really nice. I'm working on them. And one thing that I will tell you, when I did the unboxing, the box was squashed. However, I did get an email from the company that said, how did your delivery go? Were there any problems? And if there were, take pictures and send them to me. Now, they sent me those to review, so I filled it out anyway, and I said, listen, you sent me these to review, and I did put it in my review because I don't like the company that they used And this company, it seems to be like when I order things from Temu, like I have it on my account. Do not use this company. They're terrible. They're terrible. And it really breaks my heart that there is such precious artwork in there, and the box looked like it was trampled on and stepped on. So that's for the company to take up with them, whether they're going to use them or not. Again, so that happened this week. What else happened this week? Oh, I went to New York. All of a sudden, I'm talking, and I'm going to tell you about when I went to New York. I went to the Frick Museum. This was John's birthday gift. This is something that he's been wanting to do. Oh, I need to get my other paper out. I will say on this canvas, the legend is so tiny. And then Ren does, oh, here it is, 3371, number 58. Ren does give you a separate piece of paper with a printout, because there's just no way to see this. There's just no way to see, like not for me. You'd have to put this under a magnifying glass, or use your cell phone. Get your cell phone, put that out. So, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I keep forgetting that these are squares. I'm like, why are these square? But these are the great, really great. Those of us that have our YouTube channels, I know like this is one of Rich's favorite colors. It's one of mine. When using Diamond Art Emporium, fairy dust diamonds are like nothing I've ever seen before. From Diamond Art Emporium. I mean, you get a fairy dust diamond and it's just, it's okay. You know, it's kind of got a little sprinkle on it. I'm going to take these off my desk. I have been getting, and with the company that I just reviewed too, they came in baggies, and I'm like, I'm loving the baggies. I'm going back to the beginning, right? Everything old is new again. I have no more storage systems, so I go to the dollar store and I get these little things. I get very little from the dollar store anymore because their prices all went up to like $1.50, $1.75, $2. I'm like, you know what? I'll just spend the extra couple of dollars and buy I'll buy Rubbermaid. I don't need to have what you sent here. So let me see. I'm going to use my witch pen. Why not? Or I could use my tweezer. I've done so much square drill practice with a tweezer that I find it hard to use a diamond pen when I am doing squares. How about that? But I go back and forth. I just go with it. I go with how I'm feeling. Oh, I should really show you these. Look at these. These are fairy dust drills. Forget it. I call them beignets. They remind me of beignets. When you go to New Orleans and you get that chicory coffee and you get a beignet with powdered sugar all over it. That's what they look like to me. So we went to the Frick Museum. It was so hot. We got out on 42nd Street where the bus terminal is, the Port Authority is, and I said to John, listen, the New York city blocks are not as big as Philadelphia city blocks. A Philadelphia city block would be considered an avenue in New York, because if you're going like from 5th Avenue to 6th Avenue, that's a long walk. That is like a Philadelphia city block. But if you're going to 5th Avenue to 6th Avenue in New York, it's like 3 city blocks for New York. The city blocks are very short, very short. So I said, listen, we're on 42nd Street. We could be up to 70th. It's saying 45 minutes. I believe it. It's going to take us longer to go by car. We should just walk. And we did. We took a break. He wanted to take a break. You're in New York. You're looking around. There's so much to do, so much to see. We had 2 hours to get to our destination, maybe a little bit. No, we got there at 11. Yeah, we got there at quarter of 11, and we had to be at the Frick at 1 o'clock because you have to go in when you have you got to time your event. So they let people in every half an hour. So, yeah, we had to be there at 1 o'clock. So, and we even stopped to get a little bite to eat, too. So, we sat down to eat. It was about 11:30. So, we had walked for 45 minutes. And then we got something to eat. We were out of there by 12. And then we went, we continued to walk. But the bartender said, "Oh, you'll be okay, cut through the park." And as soon as I heard that, I was just like, "Oh, God, why are you talking to him, telling him to go through the park? He's never been through the park." You know, and my husband just doesn't listen, because when he has to be somewhere, he's got to be, like last night we went out to dinner with friends, okay? So we're going to Ralph's. It's the oldest restaurant in Philadelphia, and continuously owned, I should say. The family's had it in their possession for 125 years. Haven't been to Ralph's in so long. The food is delicious. This is right off the 9th Street Market, where I've taken you guys before, where my friend Renee has the coffee shop. But a little further down, where it's residential also, but you still have these like little gems. They're not so congested, like where I took you guys at in the actual market. This is also residential, and they're just like these little gems of places that are sprinkled around. Oh my God, to live across the street from Ralph's. Oh my God, I love it. Anyway, we had to be there at 7 o'clock. I'm like, "John, we'll leave about 6:30. And he's already panicking, because he's panicking about his space. I'm like, "John, we live in South Philly. We're 10 minutes away." Yeah. Then he's like, "Oh, no, I'm going to have our friends come and pick us up." I'm like, "No, you're not. No, you're not. Because if they come and pick us up, then you got me out the door like an hour earlier." And I don't like driving with people. People have their own set of rules when they drive. You know, I want to go when I want to go. I want to stay when I want to stay. I don't want to be beholden to anyone. I like just being on my own. And then I don't want to worry about who's driving, are they drinking, because, you know, like I said, people just have different rules for their life, you know. So, and I have mine, so, no. So we got there like 20 minutes early, of course, but he's like panicked at that time. He's already panicked. They were having a party in the street. It was called Dinner Under the Stars. We usually do it every year. This one got by us. And what they do is they close the 9th Street Market, and they have long tables set up, and you can have dinner under the stars, and all the restaurants from the 9th Street Market, you're going to have what they have. So, you know, bread from this place, wine from this place, cheese from this place. It's really nice. And it's very neighborhoody. It's not anything that like tourists do, because that's a big tourist section down there. So, yeah, it's really a lot of fun. We did it last year. And so we were walking by, and he's like, "What's going on down there?" I'm like, "It's probably Dinner Under the Stars, or it's a serenade, because they tend to close the streets and they have serenades." Am I able to pick these up with these, like, 2 at a time? Yeah, I can. So we did that last night, but, like, you know, he's like a maniac, and I'm like, "Well, then you shouldn't have stopped for lunch. You know, you wanted to stop at this place. We stopped, and now you're running me through the streets." And, like, New York is crazy. It's crazy with people. It really wasn't that crowded. I was a little heartbroken being in New York and seeing that it really wasn't as, it wasn't what I remember. I have not been in New York since pre-pandemic. You know, my life imploded. You know, my father was buried in March. I never went back to New York. I had not been in New York for a while, because the way things were going, it just was making it difficult for me. I was working from home a lot. Oops. So I had not been to New York. It's 5 years. And a lot is different. I don't recognize a lot of it. So I said, "You know, I would like to turn on the live and, you know, record all this. I'm walking through Central Park. I'm in New York. Like, this is great content live to show you guys. But I wish I hadn't, because he was so, you know, tense, and he had to get there, and it was hot, and, you know, I'm just like, you know, like, this is not fun anymore. Like, you're not relaxed. And he'll relax when he gets there, you know. But he's got all this tension when he has to do something. It's just, oh my God. And to look at my husband and see what a goofball he is and how funny he is, you wouldn't think that he was like, you know, I'm the one that's like, just let the day take us. Just go with the flow. And he's all, you know, tense and uptight and you know, giving himself a migraine. Love of God. Calm down. And then when I tell him that, he's like, don't tell me to calm down. I'm like, oh my God, you're like a demon. So we get to the frick. We're in line. I gotta tell you guys, I'm allergic to bees. I love bees, but I'm allergic to them. And we're in line. We're in the 1 o'clock line. And what won't leave me alone? A bee. A bee won't leave me alone. So it's one woman in front of us, and then it's me and John. And this woman was annoyed because I was in a panic. Now, I'm the one in a panic. And I said, oh my God, a bee. And John's like, don't worry about it, it's a bumblebee. I'm like, it's not a bumblebee. Bumblebee? What are you talking about? I'm like, I love bees, because the woman turned around and looked at me. And I was like, I love bees, but I'm allergic to them. So I'm watching this bee everywhere. Finally, I said, excuse me. She would not move. I said, excuse me, I need to get out of line. Now, it's just like a roped thing. I had to move the rope and go around her. I don't know if she thought I was going to get in front of her. People are nuts. They're nuts. And so I look, and I'm looking. I said, John, did it go away? And he's like, it went away. Now, there were 2 young kids behind us. They were laughing. They thought the whole thing was hysterical. I get back in line. Here comes the bee. Here comes the bee. And I'm freaking out. Everybody's hysterical but this woman. So, big sour face. Oh my God. Anyway, so there's a guy behind us that my husband's like, I think I know this person. I'm like, you think you know everybody? You don't know this person. Well, you could know this person. I think he's an actor. I'm like, well, he probably is. It's New York. It's probably an actor. We get inside the frick. It's unbelievable. You guys, I gotta at least put one video in the description of this video and show you where we were. You were not allowed to take pictures. You were not allowed to have your camera out at all. You were not allowed to walk around with bags. You're not allowed, well, of course you can't bring anything in. You're not allowed to, if you have a coat on and you take your coat off, you will be asked to go to coat check and hang that coat up. You can't put the coat over your arm and walk around with it. They won't have it. Okay. If you love Summer with the Masters, and there were Degas there was Renoir there was Whistler was there, of course Vermeers were there. Like, the paintings were just breathtakingly beautiful. And you wear your headphones, and there's a number next to each painting, and then you type that number in, and it will tell you about the paint, and it just brings the paintings all look like they were alive anyway, but that's, you know, the technique was unbelievable. And so when you're listening to the actual story of what the story is about, what the painting is about, it's just amazing. So we go up to the 2nd floor, and this was the grand staircase that you were allowed to walk up. It has been closed for 5 years, so you were able to walk up the grand staircase and go up to the 2nd floor. And my husband sees this guy again. He walks up to me and he goes, are you an actor? And he goes, well, yes, I am. He's like, I knew it. I don't know what I saw you in, but I know your face. Can I take a picture with you? Which he did. If I have it, I'll pop it up. So John's like, have you done any recent work? He's like, well, I have a series, that is on Netflix right now. Now, I love the series. I love it. I keep looking at this girl, and I'm like, who is this girl? She's like one of the lead characters. I'm like, who is this girl? She looks like she could be Christy McNichol's daughter, if Christy McNichol had a daughter. She looks just like her. The show is so good. The only thing I don't like about it is the name. The name of the show is called Evil. Really? You couldn't think of a better name than that. I mean, really. But the show is really good. It's like, you can watch any show. You could pick any one that you want. Maybe you could. I would start with the first show. Yeah, but each one is a different story, but there is like a sub-story. And you know who her mother is? I'm like, I know this girl. Where's she? I'm like, oh my God, that's Christine Lottie. I can't remember what she was on. Oh, Chicago Hope she was on. And I'm like, wow, what else was Christine Lottie in? I know she did a couple really good movies. 75 years old. Oh my God, she's like she was 20. It's crazy. This guy's name is Kurt, and his name is Curtis in the show. Curtis Fuller, I think his last name was. So you'll know him. He's one of these character actors. You're like, oh, I know this guy. I've seen him in something. He's really good. He plays a psychiatrist. The girl that looks like Christy McNichol, she is from the Netherlands. Katja is her name. Katja, I can't pronounce the last name. And she's so good. She is a psychologist, but like a forensic psychologist, is she? Okay. And there's another guy. He lives in the church. And this all has to do with people that are, well, has this been every story? Like the last one that I watched was a woman that was possessed. And then there's another guy, and you'll know him when you see him. And he's the one that debunks all these things. Like, he just did, I just saw an episode with him where he went like on ghost hunters. And he just debunks all of it. He's just like, this is what's going on here. You know, this is not a ghost. Let me show you how you did it. Because they do admit that they do help the show along. But some of it has been phenomena that they can't explain. Okay, so that's his thing. He's the neutral guy. He's the one that always comes up with a reason why something is happening, because people's imaginations get carried away with them. So the one we just saw was a woman that was possessed, and they actually did an exorcism. I mean, it sounds crazy, this show. It's not scary. I can't explain it. It's just really good. It's just really, everyone is a different story about either someone that is seeing visions or someone that is possessed by demons. And Katja, the girl that looks like Christy McNichol, her husband is a mountain climber, and right now he is on Mount Everest with a bunch of climbers. So she's alone in the house with her 4 daughters that all talk at the same time. And her mother is Christine Latte, and it's so good. The characters are good. They're well written, and this is the guy that my husband met in the frick. Did I go on for like 20 minutes about this movie? All right, whatever. I gotta get some diamond painting done, and then I have to read. So, yeah, it's on Netflix. It's called. I just don't like the name. I'm like, they couldn't name this something else. They had to name it Evil. Ugh. And I'm looking at my own desk, like I have witches on one side and I got an angel on my desk. Yeah, so what else happened this week? I feel like the weeks are going by so fast. Like, I've just been at my desk. Rich is on a retreat, so he was able to come from the retreat. Most of you know, some of your curators are on the retreat in Texas. I think he comes home today. So he won't be available today. He said, make sure you tell everybody I'm not going to have a live. They're having a great time. That looks like they're in Austin, Texas. And it looks like so much fun. They're having a great time. Shay popped in on our live. Hi, Shay. We just met, Shay and I. I've been on Shay's channel. She doesn't know who I am, so we met Friday. Um, what else? What else is going on? Week 4 is coming up. We're at the midpoint of which witch. We're at the midpoint of which witch. Can you believe it? And this is going to be a big show next week. Oh, I think it's my channel. It's my turn. Oh my God, it's my turn next week. You're back with me. This is Tracy's putty in here from Tracy's DP World. Now, I've had this in here a couple of days. They might not pick up. No, they did. And they don't stick. They don't stick. It doesn't stick to my AB drills. Look how nice. So, yeah, you guys are going to be on my channel. This is going to be a big show because it's the midpoint. We had a lot of winners, 10 winners last week. And I think 3 of you had Diamond Art Emporium canvases, which meant that your prize was doubled. That's always fun. And I think the 3 that had asterisks, no, not everybody, I think 2 had asterisks. So somebody won a $50 gift certificate from Diamond Art Emporium, and then that doubled to 100. I know that for October 31st, John has a show, and I'm going to be coming live from his show because he needs me to do his costume makeup. And this is a friend of ours club. It's called the Riverside Yacht Club. So I'm going to be down. I think this will be cool. I'll be at like a Halloween party. I can come live from anywhere. Hooray, hooray. And I know that they have, dedicated Wi-Fi, so I shouldn't have a problem. The only thing I have a problem with is not having the music in the background. Oh wait, I'm coming through StreamYard. Okay. Anyway. And then there was something else I wanted to tell you guys. Oh, John has a show on Friday. No, on Sunday coming up. And will I be here? I'm going to have to get that done the day before. So I'll be here. I usually don't skip on Self-Care Sunday unless, it's got to be something big for me to skip Self-Care Sunday. But we went to go check out the place that wanted him to have, they wanted him to sing like during brunch hour and play music. And it's called the Bellafont Cafe, and they have like chimpanzees all over the place. I'm like, what's with the chimpanzees? I happened to walk over to the piano, and it was the story of the Bellafont Cafe. And F. Scott Fitzgerald and Zelda moved to Delaware, and Zelda had this passion for animals, and she had chimpanzees, and I think F. Scott let the chimpanzees out, and they were running through Bellafont, and they were like terrorizing the people of Bellafont because they were scared. They were born in captivity, and so they had never been out on their own, and they were frightened. So this woman lured them into her home, took care of them, fed them until the day she died. And this is the house where she lived, where we're having his gig at. I didn't know Hemingway lived in Delaware either. I didn't know F. Scott Fitzgerald and Zelda lived in Delaware or came to Delaware for some time. So, a little interesting. I have some pictures of the Bellafont. I was like, everything's like a chimpanzee. And at night, that looks like a yoga studio. So I was like, I don't know. Maybe they're, honoring the monkey mind. So it looks like, I'm like, if they're not teaching yoga in here, I'd be shocked. Because it's set up like a yoga studio. I'll put some pictures up. And I think I even have the story. The story was on the piano. And I said to John yesterday, because he went up there, his friend went up there with him because he's going to be doing all the filming. I said, John, do you know the story of the Bellafont Cafe? Tell Ricky to make sure he captures that. He's like, oh my God, we just read it. Because because they have little chimpanzees all over the place. It's really cute. Really cute. All right, I think I need one here in this corner. And then I think I did enough gabbing. It's like a half an hour of me. Oh no, it's 40 minutes of me gabbing. I'm going to do the rest of this. I'll diamond paint on my own so then I can use that material after. But let's read what's going on Self-Care Sunday. Today is the 28th. So September 28th is titled About Forgiveness. The pain was necessary to know the truth, but we don't have to keep the pain alive to keep the truth alive. This is what has kept me from forgiveness. The feeling that all I've been through will evaporate if I don't relive it. That if those who have hurt me don't see what they've done, my suffering will have been for nothing. In this, the stone I throw in the lake knows more than I. Its ripples vanish. What it really comes down to is the clearness of heart to stop defining who I am by those who have hurt me and to take up the risk to love myself, to validate my own existence, pain and all from the center out. As anyone who has ever been wrong can attest, in order to keep the fire for justice burning, we need to keep burning our wounds open as perpetual evidence. Living like this, it's impossible to heal. Living like this would become our own version of Prometheus, having our innards eaten daily by some large bird of woundedness. Oh my gosh. Forgiveness has deeper rewards than excusing someone for how they have hurt us. The deeper healing comes in the exchange of our resentments for inner freedom. At last, the wound, even if never acknowledged by the other person, can heal and our life can continue. It is useful to realize that the word forgive originally meant to give and receive, to give for. In keeping with the original meaning, we can see that the inner reward for forgiveness is the exchange of life, the give and take between our soul and the universe. It's hard to comprehend how this works, yet the mystery of true forgiveness waits in letting go of our ledgers of injustice and retribution in order to regain the feeling in our heart. We can only hope to begin this exchange today, now, by forgiving what's broken in each other and imagining through love how these holy pieces go together. But the only thing I can think about is our current, one of the biggest displays of forgiveness that I have ever seen, other than Jesus on the cross. Forgiving those who put him there, not just the soldiers, you know. That's one thing I have still to this day have a problem with when I do the Rosary of Sorrow. I still have so much that I can't look at when praying or reading the Bible and reading the story of Christ's crucifixion. It is still so hard to read what Christ went through. And then the biggest, as if dying for our sins wasn't enough, that we also be forgiven. And so I can't get the image of Mrs. Kirk asking for... I'm sorry, Erica Kirk did not ask for forgiveness. She bestowed forgiveness for the person who, onto the person who killed her husband. Just lost for words. I think most people are still lost for words. But like I said, The only time I've ever seen an act that big was Jesus on the cross. Forgiveness. Now, I'm trying to remember what it was that another breakthrough that I had this week. That really freed me from this position that I've always taken, because I think I am a teacher. I've taught most of my life in different areas of my life, whether it was owning my own business, mainly owning my own businesses, whether it was the restaurant business or it was yoga or it was art, always teaching. Maybe more, my growing up, debate was something, and it's still very big here in South Philadelphia. I'm going to go talk about my own neighborhood. I don't know what it's like in other neighborhoods. Debating is huge in South Philadelphia. This bantering, this way that, especially the men here communicate with each other. It's like a bantering, and then they do this in their relationships too. But debate was always, growing up, was always something that was refined in our schools when we were on opposite ends of a subject. And I told this story once before. I can't even remember what the debate was about, but our classroom was completely divided on the whatever it was. I can't remember. It could have been war. It could have been the Vietnam War that we were discussing. I don't know. And it was, this side of the room had a position, this side of the room had a position. And I was just like, I could see both sides. And two other people felt like I did. And we had a really great teacher. She came from a public school. And she said, everyone that feels this way, get on this side of the room. Everybody feels this way, get on this side of the room. And me and two other people were left in the middle. Are you undecided? Yes, we're undecided. We don't know how we feel about this situation. Really how we think about the situation, not how you feel, how you think. And she said, okay, you feel this way? You guys feel this way? Got homework this week. I'll never forget, it was a Friday, because we never got homework on a Friday. And she said, this side is going to debate on Monday about their position, and you're going to debate about their position. So you got homework to do. You got to learn about the other side. And you guys that are in the middle are going to be the judges of this argument, which really, you really can't even judge. It's the way people think and how they feel and what their positions are. But it was like the greatest. I mean, I think we started the day off with this topic, and then we had recess, and we got back to it, and then we had lunch, and we got back to it, and it continued for the next couple of days, this debate that we had. But in the end, there was resolution. In the end, you learned about the other side, and the other side learned about you. But this doesn't happen today. Today it's, oh, that's how you think? Well, this is who you are. Or this is who this person is. And I think being a person that grew up with fair debate, that's in my blood, to be like, well, this is why I have this position, but I find that people don't even want to hear it. Their minds are made up, they're closed-minded, they don't want to hear it. And you're wrong and I'm right. And I don't have the patience to listen to you. I don't want to listen to you. I don't want to hear your side of things, which just leads to more division. I don't know how you conquer that. I'm not trying to conquer that. I'm not trying to figure it out. But my husband said something to me, and he said, an accusation without evidence can be dismissed. And I said, who said that? Aristotle? It sounds like Aristotle. And he said, I think it is Aristotle. If someone makes an accusation without evidence, it's dismissed. And I was like, that is so freeing. Because I think growing up the way that we did, when an accusation is made, we are now going to tell our side, and we're going to bring all this evidence. And why do I have to do your homework? Right? Do your own homework. You want to make an accusation? Do you have evidence of that? Oh, you don't? Bye. I'm not going to do your homework for you. I'm not going to go on the defense and tell you why you're wrong, or why I think you're wrong, or why you don't have the evidence to support this, but I have the evidence to disprove you. I'm not doing your homework. I'm just dismissing people. Forgiveness is a big one. I learned this through A Course in Miracles. I did A Course in Miracles for years. And one of the teachings of A Course in Miracles on forgiveness is that forgiveness is generous out of self-interest. You don't forgive the other person for them. You forgive the other person for you, so that you can have peace. And it's a really tough lesson, and I think that it has to, you have to be, and this is another reason why I don't get involved with discussing things with people that I don't know. I have intellectual discussions with people because I know where they stand morally and ethically. You have to know what you believe and what you think. To forgive. In keeping with the original meaning, we can see that the inner reward for forgiveness is the exchange of life, the give and take between our soul and the universe. It's hard to comprehend how this works, yet the mystery of true forgiveness waits in letting go of our ledgers of injustice and retribution in order to regain the feeling in our heart. We can only hope to begin this exchange today, now, by forgiving what's broken in each other and imagining through love how these holy pieces go together. That's one that I'm going to have to keep on reading. That to me is a reminder of why you forgive. And so the exercise is, as you breathe, let yourself feel the pain of a wound that you carry. Let yourself feel the pain of keeping the wound open as evidence of what you suffered. Let yourself feel the pain of the wound that you carry. Let yourself feel the pain of keeping the wound open. I'd like to say that I don't do that, but as soon as that person in question comes up, it's the first thing that I think of. It's just like, no, I'll never be in that person's company again, ever. And you guys know me a little bit. You guys know me on the surface. You guys know me as a diamond painter, and I do self-care Sunday, and I let you into my lives and tell you jokes and stuff, but you don't know me. So the people that really know me, that are like, well, Elisa is not budging on this one, this must be huge. And it is. And I just don't know how. I think I have forgiven because I feel sorry for them. And you don't want to walk around with that hurt, like that, because it's just them doing it to you over and over again. But I won't be in their company ever again. As you breathe, let yourself put the indignity, the injustice, and the woundedness down. As you inhale, take in the softness and freshness of the air. But I can only do that knowing that this person will never be in my life again. Like, there is no grace in me to forgive this person. Like, that's how big it is. And I think because I always knew in my heart that there was a darkness to this person, but I always felt as though they were so wounded by how their life, how, I'm going to say how life turned out, but, because their life turned out very well. But them not being able to accept the twists and turns of life, like they had a big plan in their head about how their life was going to go. This was always the thing, and their life really was just someone else's plan all the time. Like, this is something that I knew about this person. There really was not any originality to them. Like, I don't think they, this is what I mean, I don't think they ever knew what they thought or what they felt or where they intellectually stood on issues, because they were too busy repeating what the traditions were in their family. And it was like cookie cutter emotions. Like, we do things this way because this is the way it's always been done. Well, do you agree with that? Like, or, I mean, they were good traditions and good to have. But there was nothing that differentiated one occasion from the other. Like, when are you going to come into yourself? You know what I mean? Like, when are you going to stop living in this wheel of just keep this going? And I know with their children that this would probably be what will be expected, because I seen this with the last wedding where the tradition from this person was being put upon the family member, and I was like, that's not, as a bride, what she wants. And like, why do you keep shoving this down her throat? Like, she doesn't want it. Like, she's very much her own person, and this is what she wants. So get her what she wants. Make her happy. And it's like, oh no, we have to do it this way. We have to have this. We have to have that. I was like, oh my God, like, you're just tone deaf. You know what I mean? As you breathe, forgive the wound, that is, exchange the part of you that is defined by this hurt for the part of you that, without your consent, keeps healing. I don't know, I got work to do. Like everybody else, I got work to do. And, like I said, forgiveness is easy because I feel sorry for them. Forgiveness is easy because, I mean, I'm not saying that the hurt wasn't big and it didn't really, like, knock me on my, like, just, like, you know when someone, you think you know someone so well, and then you never really knew them at all, but you always had that, like, kind of, like, feeling. I had this happen to me twice in my life. Once with a friend, and I was like, I'm so glad we're friends, because I saw her when somebody would just, like, tick her off. I was like, I'm so glad we're friends, because I would never want to be on the other end of that. And one day I was. She ran out of people and looked and saw me still standing there with her and, like, attacked me. And let me tell you, I was done with that relationship. I was over it. I was just like, no. But that's a friend. This is family, so it's different. But you just gotta do what's good, best for you. Let's get this over here. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Stick my finger in there, in the canvas. But like I said, I can only see myself. You know what it is though too, and I hate feeling this way. It's like these people run around hurting people, and then it's like, well, you know, we're ready to forgive now. Oh, really? We're ready to forgive now, but we don't want to talk about anything. You know, we just want to forget everything. Let's just forget everything. And it's like, you're out of your freaking mind. I ain't forgetting nothing. Like, you know, that's not happening. You don't get to treat me like that and then think that this is all done and over with now because, like, what? Did you run out of people again? You know? So there's a lot. And I guess you could forgive and you could move on and just be like, yeah, I forgive you. Don't worry about it. I'm over it. But you'll never be in my life again. I think that has to be part of the story. I think Mark Nepo is talking from a place where the hurt happened and you're estranged from this person, and instead of carrying this hurt around, you let it go. I think that that's where he's speaking from. Just my opinion. That's my 2 pennies there. I don't know, guys. I don't know. If you have any advice for me and you have any comments and, you know, let me know. You can always go over to the Quiet and look on Discord, and I don't know, maybe you could teach me something about forgiveness. I'm always really in awe of people that are just like, and it is that easy, because you just got to say, this isn't about me, this is about them. For whatever reason that they did what they did, has nothing to do with you. You were just the tool in some way in their delusion that allowed them to behave the way that they did. Had nothing to do with you. Because I heard a little bit about the reasons why this person behaved the way that they did towards me, and it's wrapped up in envy and jealousy, and I'm like, over what? Over what? I mean, do you not have everything that you want? You're in a better position than I am. What the heck could you be jealous of? But that's what it came down to. But I think I'll probably continue to read that passage. You know, I read Book of Awakening daily, and so for a while there I was doing daily Book of Awakening, readings and like posts and stuff. But I really wasn't getting a lot of feedback on it, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm just torturing people with this stuff. Let me just stop. Or maybe I did start another channel, and I was supposed to be posting that stuff there. But then, I got caught up in, like, how I wanted the page to look. I wanted it to look different than this page. And then, I get caught up. I make things bigger than what they are. And my plate is full. My plate is full. I'm still having fun. I'm still enjoying the process. But I don't want, because I'm a one-woman show. I don't have a spouse that I could say, hey, can you handle this for me? Or can you do this for me? Or do you know how to do this? Or can you edit this for me like that? I don't have that. I do everything on my own. Now I'm learning. I'm trying to get educated on AI prompts and different AI programs that are out there that do, everybody says ChatGPT, but ChatGPT is just basically like a reference and writing program, and I find that most of the time it's it's not thorough. But then it's like, well, you know, what legacy model are you using? I'm like, huh? You know, it's like, oh, well, if you're using this model, well, this model is good to write script, or this model is good to write novels, and this model is good to write, you know, like maybe for YouTube. This model, you know, and I'm like, oh, so there's all different models. How do you keep it all straight? Well, you got to keep growing along with the programs. I don't know that I have that much brain space, but I would like to learn how to speak AI, because you just can't talk in. They make it look so easy, that, you know, the prompts are very much the more that you can boil a prompt down, the better it is. So you have to learn how to speak AI. And I thought I was going to use this. I guess I could. I guess I could just take all the volume out right now, but I think I did so much talking in between. I'd have to cut a lot of it out to then do the bad seed. But the bad seed is a very short chapter, this chapter. So I might be able to just keep going here once I say goodbye to you guys, and just keep going with my angel here. A few more. Then I'll give you guys a little overview of these gorgeous straws. Let's take a look. I am using the back camera. There you go. They are fairy dust straws. See how nice your camera is to magnify areas that maybe you can't see too well. They are the fairy dust diamonds. This is Angel 101. 50 by 50, 80 colors, square. And I am out. I'm going to continue diamond painting because I do want to do the reading later. John's got a jam session, and so I will be at my desk diamond painting and reading the next chapter of The Bad Seed. So I will see you guys, as always, in the next time. Enjoy your Sunday fun day. Thanks for watching. Bye.